Good early evening. It's, I don't know, a little after 5, I think. Just popped out of the shop at White Rose Canoe and brought a boat with me. Decided I'd get in a little bit of a paddle. It's a beautiful evening. Bit of a wind, but nothing, tremendously bad. So I'm sitting in a Chestnut Playmate, wooden canvas, nicely restored by the Stevens Boat Work up in Groveland. It is a 14-foot tandem, and if you're familiar with Chestnut, you may be aware that they had a whole series of boats, and one of their series was their pleasure craft, air quotes. And there were at least 3 models that I'm aware of in that. One was 16, one was 15, and one was 14. This is the 14-foot version. And the 16-foot version is the pal, because you go out with your pal, going to have a good time, and that's kind of the adult boat. And in fact, the Novacraft Pal, which I own as well, is built on the model of that Chestnut Pal. So that's where that comes from. Then the 15 version is your chum, because you're a little younger, maybe in your teenage years, you're out with your chums, okay? And the 14-foot is the Playmate, because it's the short boat, it's the littler one. And when you're out with your 6 and 7, 8 years old, you've got Playmates. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool myself. Everybody else probably is yawning it by now. But anyway, it is as I said, a 14-foot wooden canvas tandem. I'm soloing it. I haven't put any ballast in. At this point, I've got my ballast bag with me if the wind kicks up and I think I need it. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, wooden canvas boats paddle different. I think it's partly because of the weight. This one runs about 60 pounds or so. And I think it's partly just because of the canvas and the hull design and everything else. But, you take a couple of strokes to get it up to speed, and after that, it just glides. It's a different feeling than what you get in most composite boats that I've been in anyway. And I've been in a few working at the shop. So I really suggest, if you ever stumble across one that somebody has, ask them if you could borrow and paddle it for a little bit, because it's different. It's quiet and all of that stuff. So if you haven't done it before, I think it'll be a new and very, very enjoyable experience. I've got my usual 3 paddles with me, this time beaver tail, otter tail. And the long one that you see extending down there is about 74 inches long in total. Pretty good sized beaver tail blade on it. Good for kind of a standing paddle. And the other thing about the wooden canvas boats that I've found is they're a lot harder to tip. They can be an arched hull, so they're kind of easy to rock and stuff, but they don't want to go further than they want to go. So when I finish my paddle, I get back in really shallow water. I may try and see how the stand-up paddle does. Should be an interesting experience. But anyway, enough about that. I'm just going to tool up the river, see if the beavers are out and that kind of stuff. But it's just a great evening, and I thought I'd share. Okay, so this is Keith from White Rose Canoe, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So I'm going to just stick the video in my vest, not particularly aiming it anywhere, and let you ride along for just a little bit. So I don't know how muffled my voice is, but you can see it is a bit breezy out. Again, nothing really debilitating. Passing through old bridge abutment. In the spring, this particular spot is kind of interesting, if you can see it, because when the water is moving quickly, water's high and it's moving down quickly, this little embayment that you have here actually turns into a big upriver eddy. And you can sit here and it'll pull you all the way back up for a ways. once it gets grown in a bit with the water lilies and all, they interfere with that process. But before they come in, it's a kind of a little water magic going on. Turtle right there. Didn't run over him. And you probably watched my left arm coming down enough, but just a fun boat to paddle. It really is. Just a great night out for taking reflection shots. Okay, this is a stopping point for tonight. Like I said, I only want a little bit of time out. First beaver dam, not a big deal if I wanted to keep going, but and that's a horse crossing bridge back there that you see, somewhat in disrepair, but that's where the folks who do the riding would have crossed over the river. Anyway, so slow pan. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so back at the launch. Really nice canoe. As you can see, Chestnut. And again, it's the Playmate model, 14-foot tandem. So it was very nicely.